The major concepts of the systems approach include, first point, holism, which means a change in the part of the component of a system affects the entire system. It may affect directly or indirectly. Then specialization refers to that every small component or subsystem has a specialized role to themselves, and all these components get together to make the entire system or the whole system. Okay, then coming to the third point, non-summational. Every component, subsystem or partial system is of importance to the whole system. It is therefore essential to understand the actions of each component to get the holistic perspective. Okay, so non-summational means we do refer to all these smaller subsystems or components as the entire system, but to understand the activities or the role of each system or the entire overall system, we need to understand the purpose or the activity involved in each of the single component. Okay, only then can we understand the effectiveness of the entire system. Like we discussed that the HR system would include various things like the number of employees, their salary, their personal information relating to age or date of joining, or maybe the post they are working in, then past experience, plus their attendance every day, what is the time they are reporting to the office, what is the time they are leaving. Okay, so all these things completely show us that is the HR system an effective system, or is it working in an effective way or not. Okay, so it is therefore essential to understand the actions of each component to get the holistic perspective. Holistic perspective means the overall perspective, the overall picture of the system. Okay, next is grouping. Now what does grouping mean? The process of specialization can create its own complexity by proliferating components with increasing specialization. Okay, to avoid this, it becomes essential to group related disciplines or subdisciplines. Okay, now what does proliferation means? It is a scientific term. Basically it refers to a group of smaller things, or maybe multiplication of components. The process of specialization can create its own complexity by proliferating means by dividing itself into subsystems or subparts or subcomponents with increasing specialization. So every part slowly keeps on generating their own specialization. Like if we talk about just the attendance part of the HR system, the attendance would hold so much data referring to number of days of visiting the institution, then timing of check-in, timing of check-out, number of leaves. Okay, all these things, then overtime, etc. All these things would have separate purposes, right? But they're all part of the attendance. To avoid this, it becomes essential to group related disciplines or subdisciplines. So to avoid all this confusion, if we have just systems For example, you all are studying in Makagoji College, right? There are so many courses going on in the college, like there's BSc, there is um, commerce, there's BA, okay? Then under each course there are various specializations. Like if we take up BCom, then BCom all has 4 specializations. One is plain computers, then there's tax, then there's office management, okay? If we do not separate them or group them into various overall heads, for example, if we have tax students, okay, and we do not group them under BCom, it would be very difficult for the organization to handle the data or the issues occurring, or maybe so it will be very difficult for the organization to understand in which department the issue has arisen, okay? So you all have been divided into various groups or heads, okay? Similarly, all subsystems are further grouped into partial systems, and then these systems are then included in the entire system or the whole overall system, okay? Like we just discussed that HR consists of so many other fields of data, which would be the attendance, the details, the employees, the number, the salary, etc, okay? So these are, the grouping is also very important, okay? Moving on, coordination. Coordination refers to the grouped components and subcomponents need coordination, okay? We discussed this point that every subcomponent need to be in coordination with the other subcomponents. Without coordination, the components will not be able to work in a concerted manner and will lead to chaos, okay? So if there is no coordination, for example, if there is no coordination between the HR system and the financial system, so there will be a problem, because if the HR system does not send the attendance of the employees, the salary will not be generated by the financial system, right? The HR department creates the attendance and sends it to the finance department, which then issues the salary depending on the number of days, number of hours that the employee has worked, okay? Coordination and control is a very important concept in the study of systems, as without this we will not be unified, we will not be a unified holistic concept, okay? So coordination is important as to keep track of changes or updations going on in each subsystem, okay? They have to work in coordination with each other. It's similarly it's exactly the same like in an organization. An organization also has so many departments, and under each department there are sub departments. So these departments have to keep on coordinating or being in contact with each other to work effectively, okay? And last point is emergent properties. This is an important concept of systems approach. It means that the group of interrelated entities or components has properties as a group that is not present in an individual component. This is the holistic view of a system. For example, multicellular organisms exhibit characteristics as a whole which are not present in individual constituents parts like cells, okay? So collectively the subsystems has different properties, and individually the some subsystems have different properties. Okay, for example, if like we took the example of single cells here. Okay, everybody knows that an egg, the egg that we get from a hen, that egg is a single cell. Okay, the yellow part is the nucleus and the white or the transparent part is the cytoplasm. Okay, now this cell multiplies in itself and becomes a chicken, right? So a single cell had different properties, but when it multiplied and became a group of so many cells, it had different properties. Okay, a chicken is different from an egg. Okay, so similarly components of the system have different properties, and when we group them together they have different properties. Okay,